this episode of the UnMeasured podcast, we have one of our best friends, Earl, aka Alex, on the podcast, and it's a great time. You guys are going to enjoy this one. Definitely some funny stories, definitely some throwbacks to the past. Also, some really good viewpoints on some serious topics. I very much enjoyed sitting down with him and Trev talking about these topics and kind of getting our voices out there and respecting each other's opinions. But nonetheless, I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the second episode of the UnMeasured podcast. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the second episode of the UnMeasured podcast with a special guest, the one, the only, Earl. What is good, everybody? How are we doing on this fine morning?
Crushing it. Earl, how you doing?
I'm doing great, fellas.
Good to hear. Truly good to hear.
Love to hear it.
So you got your Wisconsin shirt on today?
Yeah.
Did they play today?
Yeah, big game. By big, I mean pretty average game.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Northwestern.
Ooh.
You know, it could be a tough one. We tend to lose to them even when they're
Really?
So we'll see what happens. At Camp Randall.
At Camp
Randall. So we got a home game.
Love
Anything
it.
Can happen. That's the beauty of football. Beauty of sports.
Anything can happen.
Well, guys, looking through the Twitter today.
Yep.
Hashtag, hysterical hashtag.
There we go. We nailed it this week.
Beautiful.
If pizza could talk.
If pizza could talk.
What would it say? It's a tough hashtag.
Yeah.
I really don't know what pizza would say. I had some green mill pizza last night.
I feel like food wants you. What's that one movie where the food
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Sausage Party?
Sausage Party.
Dude,
Yeah.
The ending
The
of
ending
that
is
movie?
tough.
It's odd. I don't know
It's,
if anyone hasn't seen it. I don't really want to ruin it for you.
It's
but
just
near the end of that movie, you're gonna
question life itself.
be shook.
Yeah.
Shook if.
It's tough.
But no, like the food didn't want to be eaten, or no, did want to be eaten. That's what it was. And then they found out it was a tough road.
We're getting shredded. out here.
Getting smoked.
Yeah, that was a tough.
But do you think
ending of a
pizza
movie.
would want us to eat that though, or eat them?
Yeah.
They would have
I feel
to,
like you
right?
gotta know that's what you're
their,
made for.
That's their destiny.
Yeah, that's what you're made for. Exactly.
Touch these peps, big boy.
You're like, I'm nice and hot,
Ooh.
and greasy.
Ooh.
A lot of melty cheese, maybe some good meats on
And
there.
you know
I
what?
need to be eaten.
I think the cook kills the pizza before the person kills the pizza.
Especially when he
Cooking it up
When he slices it. Oh yeah.
When he slices it.
Oh,
For sure. It's not on us. It's on the cook.
love it.
I really don't know what pizza would say, so we're just gonna.
I think they just want to be eaten.
They just
at
wanna
the end
be
of the day,
eaten.
they just want to be eaten.
Yeah.
Just want to live out their life.
They're on their last limb after the cook cuts them.
I think they're dead after they're done.
You
You
think
cut
so?
through them, boom.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. That's a very interesting take there, Brennan. I don't think you're right.
I worked at a pizza joint. All right.
True.
the
expert on the
I've killed many I've slain many of pizzas in my day. Rest in peace.
No.
Rest in peace. 7.25 an hour.
Plus tips.
Plus tips. I was making guap.
Slow down.
Hello, guys. Hugh Hefner just died.
Yeah.
Can we just have a quick moment of silence for Hugh?
For Hugh.
All right, that's
About all I need.
Heir to the throne. He's
Yes.
91 years old.
So
Man,
how old is the heir to the throne?
91. Heir to the throne. His name is Cooper Hefner. He's engaged to some lady that was an actress for Harry Potter. And he's 26. He gets about like $11 million.
Oh, that's it.
in the
It's a
fortune.
small loan of
just a
11
small
million.
Fortune. So he's heir to the throne. What's he gonna do? Can he carry on the Hefner legacy?
I don't know.
You know, I feel like I didn't realize he was 91.
Yeah,
So
that's a
I feel
long
like
He
time.
looked pretty good for
He
91.
did. I feel like at this point, how much was he doing? Like
Right.
I compare that to when Joe Paterno was the coach at Penn State and he was super old and like he was the head coach but he wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of the same with Hugh Hefner.
Fair.
So I bet like there's someone else who's doing the legwork.
I think this kid was kind of taking over already. Cooper was, because he was already trying to like market to a younger generation. Because I mean,
Wow.
I don't know, what is Hugh Hefner gonna do? Like at 91, I think you're right. Guy can't have much energy. Really?
I mean, what if he's just a stallion, dude?
You never know.
Hugh. What if he's just over the years he's just a monster?
Probably will.
I think another thing we're sleeping on here. How does he have a 26-year-old kid when he's 91?
Yeah,
that's
impressive.
It's impressive.
He's doing work in his mid 60s.
The man is
Not bad.
the man is laying it down.
Not bad. That's interesting for sure.
Oh
I
man.
wonder how that happened. Went down.
What a life, man.
But yeah, he's gone. Just taking over. See where
See
we'll
if the
where
legacy
Playboy-
can be taken on.
Not that I've
Yeah, not. I don't think I've ever. I don't think I've
but-
ever read a magazine.
Oh, I
I don't think I have.
No,
I haven't even seen those magazines like
Neither-
in a store before.
Right? Neither have I.
Have you?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
It's all
I don't
digital.
hope
Everything's
it's all going
digital,
great,
dude.
Huh? Hope it's all going great. Though.
Yeah, though. love it,
Football
love
as
it.
well as Playboy Mansion and such. But
Carrying it on.
good juice. Well, Earl, the people don't know you. Give them a little background. You've grown up in Minnesota your whole life. You're wearing a Wisconsin shirt.
I'm that guy.
Tell the people.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm from here, Minnesota.
Hmm.
So I've been here. Well, I grew up here my whole life, and then I went to school in Wisconsin for 4 years.
Went to the Great Spring Lake Park High School before.
Went to the Great Spring Lake Park High School. People forget how great we are.
Yes. People. Hey, I saw a thing, but sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, it's fine.
No, totally, dude. It's totally fine.
It's okay, man.
SLP was like 19th in Minnesota public schools for like best education.
Are you kidding me, buddy?
I've never heard a bigger joke.
I don't remember anything.
I
I showed up.
It'd be
And
interesting because we don't know like private. It must have been. It was public schools.
Yeah.
But still, like I can't believe we're at 19 on
There's
that
no
list.
way.
I can't believe that. But I mean, who knows? I feel like the kids ran each classroom.
yeah, it was a zoo in there.
Okay, sorry, but I just had to get that fun fact out there. Rep SLP, baby. Okay, back to Earl. Graduated from Spring Lake Park. Went to
SLP.
Wisconsin Madison.
Yeah, went to UW Madison for 3.5 years there, and spent a little more time over there working.
Did you drop out after 3.5?
I dropped out. No, I did not. I graduated, and then I stuck around there for a while because I still had my house with some of my buddies there. And then now, as like a few months ago, I'm back here, ready to get after it.
Love that.
It's a
Love
good attitude
that.
to have. All right, so and now you're working in sales here.
I am, yeah,
In
working in
Edina, Minnesota.
working in sales down
So
in
it's
Edina.
good to have young Earl squad back,
We're back.
We're back, boys. Doing it big.
doing it big. And
This
Earl,
is the trio right here. If we're gonna get into some trouble,
Oh yeah.
this is the
this is the trio here.
We'll try to have Earl as a regular on the
Yeah.
podcast. He's always down.
Wow.
Get after
He's
it.
down to clown. He's down to.
Get after now that he mentioned that, us three getting into trouble, it's the most common group here. I think of
happens
one
to be us.
particular time, and I don't know if I've told this story on the Strum, but the Jason mask story where we were ding dong ditching.
Ooh.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I thought of that one, but
Yeah.
to get a little backstory here, for some reason, I think it was on when YouTube was kind of like hitting its big peak, and we were seeing all those like prank videos like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Like real prank videos, not this shiz nowadays where everything's staged. But so we thought it was a good idea to dress up like in like a Jason mask and film outside of people's houses and ding dong ditch them and scare them. So we went the extra yard. We didn't just ding dong ditch them. We waited for them and then to scare them. But what was our success rate? 1 out of 10 probably of person coming out, because they probably saw us standing out there.
The one person that does come out is just the last person.
It's the
we have
worst.
a video camera out there too?
Yeah, you were videotaping.
Video camera.
Yeah.
I think it was the one we used.
I think it was Brennen. Brennen was the one.
I was scaring people.
You were scaring. Me and Earl would sit back, and one of us would videotape the whole thing.
Look, gotta be the man in the group, right? Gotta be the man in the group.
I wasn't doing it. We were about 2'4".
No chance I was doing that. 35 pounds are throwing me across the neighborhood.
Yeah. But the best part about this story is the end, because it's like getting darker out, and we haven't had a single person to scare.
Nope.
And they're like, probably one of our last houses we're gonna hit. And it happens to be the worst thing ever. There's multiple stories of this guy, but we'll just keep this one.
We'll be on a cliff here at the end of this.
Yeah, we might be, boys. We might be off here. But I go to this last house. It's starting to be a little dark out. Hit that doorbell. I'm like, nothing's happening. This guy opens the door, and I go, or whatever I did in my Jason Halloween mask. Thought I was so funny trying to scare this guy. This guy must have been through Vietnam or something, dog. This man stared at my soul and wasn't even phased, dude. Stood there. And he tried to grab me after this, by the way. He tried to grab me, and I booked it. I've never ran so fast in my life. He was huge.
He was a massive
guy. Big bald guy. One of those guys where he's walking by and he's never got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he wasn't the happiest of people.
He's always mean mugging people.
Yeah.
But that's just his face.
What's this guy's deal?
Yeah. I've seen this guy drive by. He's got huge trucks.
Yeah, one of those guys too that you'd be like, yeah, he'd drive a truck.
Yeah, he's
way too big for what he needs.
Yeah. And the kind of guy that's just like, he has a shotgun in the back of his truck for no
apparent reason.
Yeah. He's kind of one of those.
Because I'm expressing my right. Love it. And then I just remember I've never ran so fast in my life, I don't think. I've never been so scared because the guy tried to grab me, man. And then after this, he chased after us, right? He chased after us in his car.
His big truck.
So, to set the scene, Alex's house is right down the street from where this guy was. So we're ding-dong ditching, and then all we have to do is run straight down the street and get to Alex's house.
Yep.
So we ring the doorbell, and then we're like, let's just get back to Alex's house after this. Like, we're all just dead sprint.
This is it. We're done. We're done.
We're like, yep, we're never doing that again. Bad idea. Brennen almost died.
It's fine.
We almost lost the trooper.
But he saw us run in the backyard, didn't he? He saw us
I think he saw.
Or was that a second time?
We were peeking out the window.
That's right.
So we ran back to Alex's house through his back door. So we ran.
He might have saw us through the backyard or something, and then that's the house. And then
I feel like he knew the street. I feel like he knew we were in those 3-4 houses.
Yeah.
So we ran through his backyard, went up to his room on the 3rd floor, and we were like, all right, let's just sit in this room, shades closed, do not move, like nothing.
Just hanging out.
Just chilling.
So we're like, frick, what he has to know, like, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
So he drives down in this big old truck, and we're like, let's just give it one peek.
One peek.
Let's give it one peek out the window. We peek out the window one time, right as this truck is driving by. God,
it was the worst.
He sees us, we're like, frick.
Your heart just goes,
oh, yeah. You're like, well,
we took an L today, boys.
Took an L. You can go with the rest of the story.
And Christy answers the door. I remember this.
So the guy rings the doorbell.
I remember you ran to the doorbell.
I was like, okay, I can't let this guy tell the story. I got to be the one that goes down there.
Yep.
Go down there right as he answers the door. I walk out and just shut the door. So my mom's not even hearing what's going on. This guy's just laying into me.
Oh, what did he say? I don't remember, dude.
I remember threats happening.
No, yeah, he's like, I have concealed carry, like,
jeez.
Basically saying like he shouldn't startle someone like that. He's about to just shoot me, or like, well, Brennan, he would have shot me.
I was gonna shot me.
We would have been good. We would have been fine.
These guys would have been fine. I'd have been dead.
He would have shot me.
We would have got it on video, which would have been weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry, there would have been justice if we would have got it on
video.
video.
I brought you justice, brother.
Love that.
Yeah, but then we were like, we're just messing around and won't do it again. Don't worry about it. And then, I mean, that could lead into the other story, but I don't know if you want to get that going.
Which one though?
The one
me and Trevor.
Yeah.
Me and Trevor, we had another run-in with him after that.
That's right. And he said something about the basement or something, right?
Yeah. So this leads into the next story. So we'll make this one quick so we can move on.
Yeah.
But we were at somebody's house playing basketball in the driveway, and I can't remember why he came by or why he was so mad.
I think someone So we were at this house. We were at this house. We didn't really know the people there. We just saw. We happened to drive by and see one of our buddies there that we knew. So we like stopped to talk to him, and then one of the people that was at that little party happened to ding dong ditch that guy. Like of all people, they picked the wrong house too.
Just a bad house.
That's a tough house, man.
So when we're hanging out, of course, this is just perfect timing. When we're hanging out at this house, like talking to our buddy, he comes over and he's like, "You guys are the guys that ding dong ditched me last time. It had to be you guys."
And that was like a year after.
That was like
gonna say that was a while after.
We were just like, "All right, it wasn't us. We didn't touch your house, buddy." No, we were so scared.
I know. Imagine if he came up to us nowadays, dude. Oh, we wouldn't even care, dude.
No, but back then, I mean, we didn't say it. We were like, "No, it wasn't us," and we were like kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
This guy threatens. He's like, "If you guys ever do that again." And honestly, right now, I should bring you down to my basement and beat you guys up with baseball bats.
Oh my god!
And we're like, holy
moly!
We're like 9th grade, so we're like, holy moly!
Okay, you were like, holy moly!
Oh yeah, well, I was sitting at a strong 4'7".
Wow!
And I was like,
big Slayer.
Oh yeah, you want a piece of this? Just kidding. We were just freaking out.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, he threatened us, and then that was the end of that. I haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
Goodness. Still lives down the street.
Still lives down
to
the
my
street.
knowledge. I don't know.
Maybe we'll
have another encounter.
Maybe we'll go over there.
A little throwback.
Hey, maybe we'll
live stream.
We'll do it.
Could you imagine? Oh my
Get
god.
him on for an interview.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, what was going through your mind?
Anyways, moving on. One thing that's been on my mind. Just thought of it the other day. When I come home from work, sometimes this is a complete change of subject, but it's time to move on from our story.
That's fair.
Sometimes when I'm in a mood where I love talking to people, and then I'm in a mood where I'm like polar opposite. I don't want to talk to people at all. It's like a complete switch in personality, and it's like sometimes I'm like, am I a little bipolar? I don't think it's bipolar, but it's just like just a complete change where I'm like, man.
You're not introvert though, right?
No. Well, no, I'm not an introvert
at all. You're naturally an extrovert.
I'm naturally an extrovert. But there's some times where I'm just like, man, I just want some alone time.
I feel like that's with everyone, though. Like, if you're always outgoing and always wanting to talk to people, I mean, maybe that's just like you're an extraordinarily like outgoing person, maybe. But dude, there's days where I'm like, no, I just want to stay by myself today or tonight or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I think there are times too when you're at work all day, so you're with people, and then you go to the Y, you're with people. Then you go home and sometimes you hang out with people and it's like, man, I haven't had any alone time all week. Till bedtime. Since bedtime. So it's like sometimes I just don't want to talk to people even when I'm with them. I feel like that's really normal though.
I know.
Yeah, I used to get that all the time, like at school with house 7 guys. And then we probably had like a friend over to just like hang out or whatever, probably every single day.
Yeah.
So it's like you get home from class or from work or whatever, and then you just want to sit there and like just be by yourself,
just chill, just
do whatever for like an hour maybe, but you can't because there's just always someone there. It's like, I don't know, it was just weird because I have no problem, like I love hanging out with people and all that, but like sometimes it's like you just want to chill and then you just couldn't. I think that was probably part of it, is that the fact that you couldn't do it, which made you want to do it more. That's
so true. And living with college people is always tough too, just because there's always someone around. Probably always someone, like you lived with a bunch of other guys and you had a roommate up where you lived, and I had the same thing. So if you go back to your room, even there's always someone there. So it's like, man, if I just wanted to chill and like watch a show or just like hang out by myself, you never have that time.
Just feel like alone time is important though.
It is,
because honestly I feel like you just go crazy. Like, you know.
For me, like being alone kind of energizes me to get back and hang out with people.
Oh, for sure. Like if you take like a week break or whatever, like a 2-week break, even sometimes longer than that, you're like, man, I miss these guys or whoever you normally hang out with, and you're like, oh, it'd be good to catch up again, you know? Yeah,
and sometimes it's not even like a week. Sometimes I just need like I don't see you guys enough, really. I see you every day, but I don't see you that much. Where it's like, I love hanging out with you guys whenever I do, but it's like sometimes I just need to be by myself and get away from the people I'm with every day.
I mean, it's fair enough.
And it's not even like people I'm with, like I want to be with. It's people at work who I love to work with, but it's like you're around them and you're forced to be around them. Sometimes it's like
all
man,
day
I just
long,
want to chill and watch some Stranger
Monday
Things
through
right now.
Friday.
Yeah.
I get it though. No, I don't think it's bipolarism.
No,
or whatever
like,
you want to call it.
No, I was just thinking like
That's even a word.
No, it's not. But I was just thinking like sometimes I'm like, man, why am I sometimes like this and why am I sometimes complete opposite? Like it kind of depends on the day.
I suppose. Right.
But some people get energized just by being with a ton of people, and that's just how they work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Do you think being on a stream, that being with people on a stream can like, is that like too much sometimes where you're like sick of those people?
Well, not
Sorry,
sick
guys.
of the people, not sick of the viewers.
No. But sometimes you're like, oh man, Nova's back in here. I'm just kidding.
It's I'd say no for the most part. I mean, there's people that troll all the time, but I never would have thought I would make this like a part-time job. So it's more of like a job for me now instead of where, I mean, I still enjoy doing it. It's still a blast doing it every day, but there are those days because I'm doing it 7 to 10 hours a day sometimes. And it just, sometimes I just need that one day off. And I can encourage every content creator that, or even streamers that do this, that stream full time nearly. Take a day off. Make sure you take one day off a week. But I get it though, because people want to boost their numbers up. They want to grow their community.
And it's tough when you take a day off.
Exactly. Especially with content, because it's like you're just playing video games, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a lot more than that. And it gets exhausting a lot of the time. Because I mean, when you're putting in 60 to 70 hours a week, like most of these people are, you need that alone time or just a break to just recoup and then clear your head a little bit and be like, all right, I miss streaming again or whatever, you know? So I feel like that's with pretty much anything now, you know what I'm saying? Balancing.
You kind of, once you take a break from it, I was like with basketball this year, I was like, before the season, I was like, man, I really like not feeling basketball anymore. And I told my dad that I was just like, I don't really like want to play right now for some reason. It was just super weird, and I just feel like you're playing it all summer, you're playing it all year round, where you hit those cycles where you're like, this sucks, I don't want to play anymore.
I definitely got that feeling like towards the end of high school though, because I mean, you're just like, you're grinding and constantly working out and doing that. It's a long season. It's just it's overwhelming.
And then there's I just kind of had to think like, why do I love playing basketball? Like,
where comes the fun factor in it?
You know,
where
bring in the fun.
It's not like you're getting paid to do it. That's a lot of a different motivation. Where you're just playing it for the enjoyment or playing it as long as you physically can. You know what I'm saying? Because one day
you'll look back, you'll be like, man, basketball is so much fun.
And
like,
I'm at that point right now, dude. I'm at that point right now. I haven't played competitive basketball in years, and I'm like, man, I miss that. You know?
I mean, it's hit me already. It's like I would do anything to just be playing basketball,
right? It's crazy.
But yeah, there's good and bad. Like,
balance, dude. It's all about balance,
for sure. We'll get a basketball squad going,
dude. We were talking about that last night.
We could bring the stream a
basketball game.
I mean, some work.
Well, we put in that work.
Love it.
Speaking of esports, do you think since there's so many content creators now, is that the same? I mean, do a lot of esports people stream and make content?
Oh yeah. That's probably one of the, I'd say, the biggest demographic of viewers. Especially like League of Legends. I mean, we used to play that game like years ago. That's probably the biggest.
You're just brutal.
Love it.
You're horrible players.
Oh, I'm still horrible. I actually played a game yesterday. It was actually fun. I haven't played it in forever.
It was a fun game. It's just like
the thing with those games, like you have to put in time, like hundreds of hours to even remotely learn a portion of the game, because it's so in depth and like so many people are like crazy good at it. Just one of those games. But yeah, I mean, to the esports thing, I'd say some of the biggest demographic of people that watch Twitch streams watch professional players or people that are really skilled in one particular game. Because it's just fun to watch. You want to see the best of the best perform.
It's like any sport, you want to see the best of the best.
But there's a lot there's a particular streamer, he goes under the name Shroud. He was a professional Counter-Strike player forever, and he just retired for a little while. Still a young dude, but he's been playing CS at a high level for years.
He's got the arthritis. He's got to take
I
a break.
hope not. I've always been scared of that, dude. I have. Because I mean,
carpal tunnel,
I've clocked in thousands of hours on games, and I always think, man, what if I like get carpal tunnel or like, whatever, arthritis or something. I've never had like pain in my fingers ever. One thing actually I've noticed is my shoulder actually hurts from doing the mouse all day.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I literally have to like stretch it out a little bit before I play.
You gotta
days.
You gotta get those shoulder circles in.
Seriously though, but the Shroud guy, he was a professional CS player. He streamed every now and again throughout the week still, but he was competing, so he's always practicing, scrimming, doing all that stuff. And he'd get good viewers. He'd probably get like 8,000 to 10,000 viewers, which don't get me wrong, that's an insane amount. But he went from full-time professional player to full-time content creator on Twitch. The dude's averaging about 34,000 people every stream. Wow, every stream.
How many? Do you know how many people are on Twitch? Like not content creators, but just like
viewers.
Everybody?
Dude, millions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Twitch is, or I shouldn't say just Twitch, but online content is the biggest booming thing right now. Like just putting, not just streaming, but like putting out videos. Oh yeah. Instagram videos, Instagram Live.
So much more.
Everything's readily available though. Yeah. So it's hard not to be like the biggest booming thing. You know, everything's on your phone.
Everything's on your phone, and people.
Like I can literally stream off my phone. Yeah. Right now. Like it's so accessible. Then
it's crazy.
Like 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I've been into this streaming thing for probably close to 6 years, and it used to be like a nothing, and now it's just everyone wants to do it. So it's crazy.
Yeah. It's cool to see. I'm wondering, like, what do you think esports, as it continues to grow and stuff, what its impact will be on just regular sports like the NFL, the NBA?
I mean,
do you think it'll take away viewers from that, or do you think they'll?
I think it'll take viewers away from that.
Different
it depends on the generation, though. You got to think of that because everything's like America's pastime with regular sports. Usually, like baseball, American football, stuff like that. It's like an American pastime thing, but more people are watching stuff live instead of sports, you know what I'm saying? But it's growing though. I mean, I think CS has made it on TBS now, like what it's called, I think it's ESL it's made it on TBS, like actually on TV.
So it's like crazy. A gaming thing?
I know the Big Ten Network, they do some tournament, I forget what the game is called. I think Dota maybe.
Oh yeah, Dota's huge.
I think it's that game. They do like they show like a tournament on TV. I think ESPN does some other game too. Like
it's crazy. I want to look up the Dota earnings because Dota.
What is Dota?
It's like League of Legends, but it's kind of harder, at least in my opinion. But
no,
League of Legends is so easy.
Yeah, way too easy.
Right, too easy of a game, you know.
Too easy of a game.
But Dota 2. It has some crazy prize pools. Like I gotta look it up here for you really quick because
I feel like that's the thing where like sort of how, you know, when you're a kid, at least this is more what I can relate to, like when you're a kid you see these people playing sports, making their living playing sports, that you want to go out and like play sports, practice and everything, be better, be in the NBA, NFL or whatever. I feel like that's the same effect now that
100%
as gaming is growing, that's gonna have the same effect. People are gonna want to be really good at whatever game, whatever one is next up.
Yeah, I mean, that was me for a little while. I mean, I competed in COD for 4 years, like pretty seriously. And I got to the point where I was ready to go to around the US and like travel and play LAN tournaments and stuff, which I still want to go to one just to play in it because that'd be fun, right? Just to go there, just to play in it, it'd be awesome. But man, it's dedication, like especially like online, because it's not like you're physically working out, running, catching balls. You know, you can sit there and grind for like 10 hours, and that's not going to be enough because some people just do more than that. It's crazy, but yeah, it's the thing with it is just it's time consuming, and you got to really want it, and you got to have the right people to play with, and it's a lot more different, but it does have the same effect or the same feel as like a competitive sport for me, and that's why I did it, because like
it's different too because you have to put your own team together.
Like you don't have like a draft.
You're not having a coach that's putting everything together, and you don't have to worry about.
You're not signing up for your high school team.
No,
and you don't have to worry about like as a coach, he puts it together if you're playing a sport. Like you just show up and you play. You just have to practice that.
Yeah,
you have to like find a team. You have to put it.
You got to find a team that's dedicated too, because like I didn't find a dedicated squad until like 3 years after I started like really competing.
Yeah.
And that was just because I knew a couple local people and then people I've played with over the years that have been dedicated. And believe it or not, people like don't show up to scrims sometimes. Like they won't show up to practice. Like they'll think they're too good enough that where they don't need to practice. Where it's like, dude, ain't gonna get any better.
That was like me and Alex in League of Legends. That was the reason we didn't show up to a lot of the games, is because we were.
That's a different story.
Nunu was frozen. He froze himself with his snowball.
We already knew we were going to be the greatest.
Right.
Yeah.
We had no worries.
Why even worry anymore?
But looking at these Dota 2 numbers, I mean, just look at these. This is all, I'm pretty sure Dota has like in-game transactions where you can like make your characters look cooler. And I think that's all money that they fundraised. That's just like the international.
Oh, so they like take a cut of it and the rest
so like
is the pool.
First place is $10 million. Could you imagine splitting that between 5 people and then like the coach and then like the organization? That's an insane amount of money. Like that's just Dota. But it's like a 23 million prize pool, and it keeps going up and up and up every year.
That's wild.
Jeez.
I remember a couple years ago it was like 13 million. And I was like, holy moly, that's insane. Now it's nearly doubled.
Yeah, you get more and more people that are playing, and like not even people at that high level. People are just like, well, I want my character to look cool. So
who doesn't want their character to look cool?
They're throwing more money in the pool, and they're
exactly
not even competing.
And a lot of people want to see it grow too, so they'll just like support. They'll do these things. At least in Counter-Strike, I think they did this. They'd each professional player that made the league or like the final league for the championship, they get their personal in-game sticker, so you could put it on guns and like have them to collect them and stuff. And each player, I think, would get earnings from whoever bought their stickers and stuff. So like people like to support the professional players and stuff like that, because they really don't make that much money being a professional player. I mean, they'll get like salary, but it's interesting. It's an interesting little bit there.
Interesting. Yeah, esports is crazy to me. I still haven't wrapped my mind around.
Yeah, it's hard for people on the outside that haven't really dabbled with it too much. I mean, you guys used to play like game battles here and there with me every now and again.
I was so bad, dude. I was so bad.
But when you get into it, it's like a whole new world, man. It's like you're in a different world just trying to get better. It's crazy.
This is pre-Brennen having a gaming system. Earl and I used to play game battles.
This is COD 4 days.
It's like COD 4 or maybe Modern Warfare 2.
The landing days. Ooh.
We would play 2-on-2 game battles, and we would get destroyed every time.
Yeah, but like, we'd play these games, we'd get in this game battle, and we'd be like, all right, let's do it. You go this way, I go this way. Have our plan.
We just like do it.
We're not like talking. We don't have like code for like which is where. We're like, oh, you know the building. You know the building.
We're down the hallway with the flower on the wall.
You know, man.
Come on.
And then we'd get destroyed, and then we'd be like, all right, let's get back in these regular matches so we can feel like we're decent players again.
Because we would like play and we destroy in the regular matches just because it's all.
Yeah, and then you play competitive matches.
And they're like jumping off buildings, just sniping you, throwing knives at you. You're like,
these guys are hitting me from like across the map. They don't miss a bullet. I'm like, what's going on?
Really lucky shot, dude. Really lucky shot.
Lucky. Definitely would have got that one every time.
Yeah.
That's funny.
One thing, I'm completely changing topics again.
Yeah.
One thing that's crazy in our world right now is all the sports, the NFL mainly, all the flag stuff that's going on.
It is crazy.
Crazy madness, craziness, crazy. With President Trump saying stuff and with players saying stuff back and doing stuff back. What do you think of all of it? It's a big topic.
It's a big topic. We won't go too deep, but I mean,
just a topic.
What do I think about it? I think they're using their platform for sure. At least using it for people that can't necessarily speak their mind. I think that's a good thing. I think they could do it a little better instead of it being on the flag or the anthem, I would say, because I don't know, I feel like you're gonna make more people mad doing it towards the flag instead of doing it towards the whole movement that's trying to be announced, I guess.
Yeah,
I think there's better ways to do it, but this way they're kind of getting their message across to a higher platform. But I don't know. It's a hard thing because I've never, been in that situation before.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see it through another person's eyes like that.
It's tough to relate to it.
Exactly.
I see what they're doing. I understand
that.
it. I was lucky enough to be able to take like a race class my senior year and like start to understand some of it because we're not taught anything throughout high school or
nothing.
Like even college, most of my.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're just taught you're white, you're black, that's the way it is, and you just keep living life.
Yeah, I mean,
and, right? Because
it's not the way it is.
It's not the way it is. But it's a tough situation. But you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I think I fully support them doing it. I think it's awesome, honestly, because like they're, like you said, sort of they're using their platform to like speak up for what they think is right, which I think that's part of being in America. That's like the privilege we have is we were able to say what we feel and not be punished for it.
Yep, freedom of speech.
Yeah, maybe you're right. They could be doing it in a better way, but I think part of the beauty of it is that people are getting pissed off about it.
Yep.
Because then you're talking about it more and more. Like you can't watch TV now without you're seeing it on the regular news. You're seeing it on ESPN. So they're talking about it all over, which I think is a great thing because like you're not going to make any progress if there's no discussion about it. Which is, I think, probably the main thing that's good about them doing it towards the flag is that there's people that are saying, oh, like, why would you do that to like disrespect the country, disrespect the flag, which I don't think that's what they're doing. And I think then that's starting a discussion because those people are kind of firing back and getting angry about it. So then they're trying to understand, hopefully, I mean, I hope they're trying to understand why these people are protesting, and I think that helps foster a discussion, which is the best thing that can happen because nothing's going to happen if you're not discussing. And I think the best way, you never grow either if you're uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
so you
100%.
have to have these uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable like feelings to be able to grow.
I agree. I agree with that. I actually, I agree with. I'm like in the middle. I'll explain my point throughout, or like my whole thing throughout this. But I was talking to my parents the other day about it. And I just thought this was super interesting. I brought it up. I was like, what do you guys think of all... Just because I'm curious of what people say and I want to understand it better. So I was like, what do you guys think? And my parents are pretty conservative people. So they're like, I mean, I just think it's very disrespectful that they're kneeling for the flag. And I was like, I understand like why people think that. But I was playing devil's advocate just because that's kind of what you need to do sometimes. So I was like, I don't know if they're doing that to disrespect the flag. I think they're just doing it because they feel that there's a race issue in our country and they feel discriminated against. And my dad goes, really? He like looks at me because normally we'd have the same point of view on stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I just feel like I don't think they're kneeling because they're disrespecting the anthem. I think they're kneeling because that's how you're going to get heard, and that's sparking a debate. And he's like, he is like, yeah, I don't think that's something we'll ever agree on. And he just was tuning me out as I was like, this is interesting because that's what I probably would have been doing last year because I just didn't. If you don't understand why they're doing it and all the race issues that are going on, I think one of the main issues is black people don't have the same opportunity as white people. If
that's evident, yeah,
and I think the main thing is, if I look at my life, I have complete opportunity to work anywhere I want, do anything I want. If I look at black people, typically, this is a general statement, they have entertainment, they can be a teacher, they can be an athlete. And outside of that, it's like, where's opportunity for African Americans to work? It's tough.
I mean, you can't really, like you said, it's hard to see it from other people's point of view, but if they kind of saw it from others' view, where I feel like they're not trying to disrespect the flag, or I feel like people are kind of following it as well, like just any other NFL player that's taking the knee or whatever. It comes off to a lot of people that it's not honoring the troops or people that placed their lives on the line, spilled blood, fought for a lot of people's freedom to do this sort of thing. So I feel like that comes off a little differently as well, whether they're meaning to do it or not. It definitely comes off to a lot of people like that, especially those that have served. And I mean, some people may, like I said, some people may be meaning it towards disrespecting on the flag, but I feel like most people aren't. But it just comes off like that to a lot of people.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I was talking to my mom about it too, and she has the same point of view as my dad.
Yeah.
But she works at a women's abuse center, And I was like, Mom, what's the race of most people in your women's shelter? And so it's not all like abused women, it's women who just can't afford to live in a regular home or apartment, so it just takes money out of, like, they have to pay less.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the race of most people that you work with? And she was like, they're all African American. And I was like, why do you think that is? And she was just like, I don't know. I was like, well, what do you think we should do to like help that out? Don't you think there's an issue there? And she was just like, yeah, bring them to the dwelling place. I was like, no, like, let's do something so they don't have to live in the dwelling place. Like, it's
I feel like a lot of, I mean, making someone's voice more heard with the whole kneeling stuff is good, but I feel like a lot of people should be doing stuff in the community if they truly want to get stuff done. You know what I mean? Like going into more troubled cities or trying to help out. I feel like that could help out a lot as well, instead of just making a big controversy.
I think people are too, but you don't hear it.
A lot of it you don't hear.
Because that's the thing, the only platform people are, that's what, like, we're going back to, like, using their platform. These athletes are using their platform. They're like, oh, like, you're not oppressed, like, you're a millionaire. But they're speaking out for people that are, and they're like, for a lot of these guys, they're like a crazy story. Like, they shouldn't be there. Like, they overcome like great adversity to be there, because it's like it's not an even playing field. You know, when you start off, it'd be like playing a basketball game where you got to go against these other guys. You got to shoot on this 10-foot hoop, but the other team gets a 10-point head start and gets to play on an 8-foot hoop against you.
Yeah,
it's like the playing field's not even, and that's sort of what I think that's what they're trying to say and trying to make a difference in. And like, even like, yes, going into your community and like, you know, giving money, giving back, whatever, that helps to an extent, but you have to find some way to make it so it is an even playing field from the beginning. So it's not, you don't have to be doing that. You don't have to be making these stands and trying to make a comeback, I guess, from starting so far down.
Yeah. These are the things that I think I have issues with right now. Is I love that there's talk about it, but I feel like all the talk about it is why there's like, why are you standing, why are you not, and people understand that, but nothing's being talked like about, all right, what are we gonna do now? Like, it's just all like,
it's just going nowhere.
People are
it feels
sitting
like
for the flag, these people are standing, and it's been Kaepernick like talk for months and months, but it's like
it's been a year.
And it's like, when are we gonna move on from the Kaepernick stuff and be like, all right, now what are we
what's Kaepernick doing with all this? Is he like doing anything? Like, what's he doing?
I'm sure he's still doing a lot.
Yeah,
just because that's the reason he doesn't have a job right now, really.
I would hope so.
No, yeah, he's still from what I hear, he's still like in the community, like you said. He's doing what you're saying.
I feel like that's a big part of it too.
He's giving back. Like, I think I read it the other day. I think he was like teaching like a Constitution class to like some inner city youth and stuff, and he's still like giving back a lot. And he's obviously not in the NFL, so he still doesn't have as much of a platform as he did before. But I think he's still trying to do his thing.
Yeah. I wonder if a lot of teams will start kneeling before the anthem and whatever else, like a lot of the teams are doing now. Like they take a knee. I don't know when they were doing it, but the Cowboys did it. They like kneeled before the anthem and then stood up and locked arms for the anthem. So I wonder if more teams will do that.
I heard they got seriously booed for that, the Cowboys.
Sounds like a Texas thing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard they kneeled before the anthem, right? And then I think it was so. Before the anthem, and then they stood up and held and locked arms after to show equal rights, I think it was, or make it seem like they're trying to support both sides, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like you said, it's a hard topic. There's a lot that needs to be done for it to like actually make a big difference, like in the communities, because it's
hard.
Because like at the end of the day, like you talking about this or taking the knee, it's only gonna go so far. You know what I'm saying? So something else has got to be done besides just talking about it or acting like you're gonna do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
One interesting thing my buddy brought up is when he was down in Texas, because you were just talking about Texas, when he was down there, he was visiting like his grandparents or uncle, and they were like, hey, let's go over here tonight, like to a city, and she it was like, let's go to that restaurant tonight, and the lady points at the restaurant, she's like, we don't want to go there, there's a lot of black people in there. And we were like,
jeez,
it just blew
that's
my
crazy,
mind when
dude.
you told me that story. It's like, you kidding me?
Like I'd say our high school was pretty mixed.
Yeah, it was a
you
very
know.
diverse.
Me and Trevor played basketball our whole lives, so I mean, we're like the minority in that sport. You know what I mean? So it's like I've grown up with black people my whole life, pretty much, and I've never had an issue at all, like just being bluntly racist. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it just never crosses my mind to like, wow,
no,
like I dislike that person. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're not born. No one's born a racist.
Yeah.
Like it's taught by somebody. That's the problem. That someone somewhere along the line you learned
someone was
for some reason that you think you're better than another person just because you look different, and that's what
crazy.
The problem is. That's where it lies. Like I heard a really awful story, like a place I used to work at during school. One of the guys, one of our managers there, he was older. He's a Jamaican guy, and his daughter, like 3 years old, one super cute kid, you know, seen pictures of her, super cute kid. And it was Halloween last year, and a group of white kids go up to go get their candy at this house. Then they go and they leave, and then she goes up with her dad, and they turn the light off and lock the door.
wow.
So what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do to you? She's 3 years old. Why would you not just give her candy when you just gave candy to all these other people? And it's like, and then she's 3 years old. She looks at her dad. She's like, why did they turn the light off? Like, why don't they give me candy?
She doesn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that was her first experience with racism. Just like breaks your heart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to like know what's going through black people's heads, like when stuff like that happens. Like you're probably thinking like, what's wrong with me, all that stuff. It's like, man, that's gotta be so tough.
Like we can't really think like that because we're not in that situation, or we've never been in that situation. I was gonna go off on the kneeling thing one last little bit. Boo, oh man, Boo, what's up?
What's up, Boo?
What's up? I was thinking of seeing it from like a vet's point of view as well, or someone that's in the military, because to them, that's their life, you know. They're here to protect the country. They're here to give their life for the flag, for the anthem, and serve. And I feel like about 90% of them, probably more, find it a little discriminating or disrespectful that people are not giving oath to the troops that have served as well. I definitely see that happening quite a bit, or at least like on social media, it's kind of a whirlwind of that, and people not really paying homage to the troops, or I wouldn't say people, but maybe some of the NFL players not quite understanding what, you know, troops have gone through as well to get and earn people that right of free speech or whatever the case may be. So I don't know.
Dude, I just think that like they're not. I don't think troops are fighting for the flag or the anthem. They're fighting for what that's supposed to stand for, which is supposed to be freedom and equality, which isn't exactly happening right now. So I think they're fighting for the right to let people sit or kneel during the anthem or make your peaceful protest. Because like I don't see a problem. I don't think anyone's being hurt by.
But do you think a lot of troops feel disrespected though?
I do.
To a point where to a point where they feel like they should be honored for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think yes, but I also think that they're not being dishonored in any way by it. Like I think that no one's sitting in the anthem being like, screw the troops. They're not fighting for us. Like no, they're sitting as sitting or kneeling or whatever as a protest to that the troops are fighting for this thing. I think they're honestly like supporting the troops. So, like the troops are fighting for us to be free and equal, but we're not. Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Where it is their right to do what they need to do, or free speech, and the fact that I wouldn't say troops, but anyone who's fought in the military or done that sort of thing have provided that right to have them be able to give free speech and stuff like that. It comes off as them being a little dishonored when kneeling for the flag for a lot of people, or a lot of troops, I should say. So it comes off as that.
Yeah, one of the Steelers players, he did like three rounds in Afghanistan.
What was his name?
Villanueva.
He came out and was the only like player to come out on the field and stand
from the full Steelers roster.
In the tunnel.
In the locker room, yeah.
And so he came out and because they were playing at Soldier Field. A lot of veterans were like, "Hey, please come out. We'd love to have you out here for the flag and standing for the anthem."
Yep.
And so he did. And then like the next day, was it Mike Tomlin that made him apologize?
I think he apologized. He didn't say like anyone made him.
But at the end of the interview, I don't know if you guys heard the whole interview, but he was saying basically what you just said. Like, it's hard for me being a third-time touring vet, basically, and getting text messages from wounded veterans and wounded warriors and people that I've served with and relatives. From friends that have passed from serving with and all that stuff. It's hard for me not to go out there and stand and support them and respect them for serving the country. And he said it's hard because they don't know what he's personally been through in battle or at the front lines and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's hard for both sides because it comes off differently from either side.
Yeah.
It comes off more aggressive from either side.
One thing I thought about too is LeBron came out and he said, "I don't agree with like Donald Trump's trying to divide us using sports," and what he said, and I was like, "Yeah, that's fair," but like, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but like I'm glad they brought it up, but like politics was brought up by the athletes, I think, into sports, and
a lot.
Whether you agree, most people don't agree with what Donald Trump said. He said it, and he said it in a response to what athletes were doing. So, and I don't think it was the right response, but
that's Donald Trump. Though. I mean, he comes off as
no filter,
as blunt as it is.
But I also was thinking, like, don't you think? And I've been stuck on this. If athletes are trying, I don't think they're trying to divide us, but it's come off that way where it's been divisive using the flag just because they're kneeling for the anthem. Where is it like you're using this to divide us in sports? That's what LeBron said. Can we look at it as you guys? And it's been something I'm struggling with. Is this a way of dividing us using the flag, which has been something that's been for us through thick and thin, through 9/11, through wars? It's like it's so interesting where it's been something in my mind where he says, you're trying to divide us using sports, which has brought us together, which it has, 100%.
But the country has brought us together more, I feel like.
I don't know if
sports.
you can measure them.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if they're comparable.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, you can't compare them.
Yeah.
One is
substantial.
Much larger thing, but is there any of that in there? I don't know. Are they trying to... I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean...
But it comes off that way. And the way LeBron said it was
way he said it wasn't the best.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It's I don't know.
It's something that
I've
been stuck on for a long, long time, and I'm starting to understand it more and more. Because if you would have asked me this question a year ago...
I would have no idea. I would have been like, what do you mean?
No, I would have been like, screw the athletes, to be honest. That's what I would have said. But as I'm learning more and having tougher discussions, it's like kind of cool to learn, and I don't know.
I like trying to...
people are having a tougher time understanding it too because they're 60 years old now and they don't know anything about race or equality. They haven't learned anything about it. So when I ask my parents, they're like, oh, it's so disrespectful. It's so this. It's like, you don't know anything about race or
anything. The thing I like to do is I like to see it from both sides, or at least I try to, because I'm more conservative, I'd say. But I like to see what the other side kind of brings up, because you never know what you're going to be able to see from that side versus the side you're possibly agreeing on more, because when you put two together, you could definitely see the rights and the wrongs from both sides. So I think it's always good, or people should maybe try to see it from both sides instead of just, oh yeah, screw the flag or screw the truth. You know what I'm saying?
What are your thoughts if this is something I've thought about too, but I don't think it would have as big of an impact. Whether NFL players, you know how they get announced and whatever, they get brought onto the field.
Yeah.
What if you just completely ignore that like, I don't know how you go about it, but just completely forego coming out when your name is called out and stand for the anthem, link arms. That's great, but show people that it's not about the flag. It's about something else. But I don't think that gets as much airtime. I don't think that's
where I was going with, where it's like, is there really a better way to voice your opinion, you know, or like,
I don't know.
Is there though? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like hard.
Because I think this is good because obviously it's fostering discussion, like we've been talking about. I don't even know how long we've been talking about it.
Yeah,
way too long.
It's so easy
listening. But But I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Is I think that's the first step is to get people uncomfortable, get people talking about it, and I think that's what's good about them doing it like towards the flag is people are like, oh, they're being disrespectful when that's not the intent, but that's getting people more and more talking, getting people fired up, getting people talking, which is important. Where if they like, I don't know, like what would another good way to do it? Like if you were to wear like a warm up T-shirt and said something like, I wouldn't care as much about that.
Yeah.
They don't. They're like,
it gets it talked about is what it.
T-shirt, whatever. But like when you're saying for the flag, people have different opinions on that, so people are gonna get a little fired up and talk about it more, which is I think
it's good and bad in some cases. I think it's really good for people to be talking about it and possibly see it from another side, another perspective, but then also in some negative remorse, it comes off disrespectful where it gets more people as well talking about it, but it's just a hard toss up.
It is.
It really is.
Do you think ratings are going to be up or down in the NFL?
I think they're going to be down this next week.
Yeah, I agree. I know, like, Facebook's a bad way to...
Yeah, the analytics of Facebook.
A bad way to judge things, but I know, like, anytime there's... Like, you go to any, like, ESPN, NFL post about anything, and you go to, like, one of the top comments will be like...
It's always
I'm sickened at what's happening. Like, I'm not watching the NFL, but you weren't sickened when...
Do we want to have any guesses for the percentage that it'll be down next week?
Slightly,
I think it'll be slightly down. I don't think it'll be huge.
Measurable, but not like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see, though.
People love football. Like, we literally have... Sorry, Boo. We literally have an app. Like, we have fantasy football because people love football so much.
Fantasy football apps on my phone.
People are just drawn into entertainment on a Sunday.
Well, who doesn't want to see the best athletes in the world at one particular sport perform in front of thousands, millions of people?
If NBA athletes ever did something like this, I'm still watching the NBA because I love watching basketball.
See, that's the NBA. I believe the NBA has a rule
that you have to stand for the anthem.
Yeah.
So
a lot of sports do, I think.
To see what would happen if that were...
Yeah, and the NBA, I think, has been the best on social justice issues.
100%.
Yes.
Because, I mean, you look at the NFL, they came and wear different shoes, or they couldn't.
Yeah.
I think they can now, but you literally couldn't wear different shoes, you'd get fined. It's like...
Well, think of it this way. Like, they can do this protesting thing or, like, kneeling thing, but they don't get fined or anything for that, but they would spike the football too hard and they get fined. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to think about.
It is.
You know,
there's just so many rules about the game.
Way,
yeah.
But, I mean, it's stupid. That is, but yeah. Like,
but think of that though, like something on this big of a topic or this big of a protest disagreement for some people isn't like rule based, I guess, but you know, having stupid celebrations in the end zone is.
And I look at
like
the NBA too, and what was the guy's name that got booted out of the league? The Clippers guy. Remember one of the owners of the Clippers said some very racist comments.
Who cares?
And he just got completely run out of town.
They kicked him out of the NBA.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He couldn't own his team.
Wow,
the new guy, Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer's tight.
The old guy, I can't remember what his name was.
Dang.
Yeah.
So NBA doesn't mess around with that, huh?
And they allow you to you can wear t-shirts, you can literally do whatever for warm-ups, you can do whatever. It's just like stand for the anthem. And I think that's good.
I think that's good. I think that's the best way they should do it, you know, for sports.
I don't follow the NFL as much.
I don't either.
And it's harder to connect directly with athletes in the NFL as the NBA because they're wearing helmets. There's so many players.
And there's so many players.
And then you look at like LeBron, and he's an athlete I respect the crap out of. And when he comes out and talks about this social issues, I listen, and I'm like, that's really interesting. And I think I listened to a podcast, and he was like, LeBron can't come out and say this because he's uneducated. It's like, just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're not educated.
He's making unreal business moves right now.
Yeah, it's just like you have no idea. Yeah, the guy's making millions on business moves. So it's like that's not accurate. And how do you measure what's educated and what's not? Just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you're not educated. Like, I could say Brennan's not educated. It's like, Brennan's educated on a lot of things.
But I didn't go to college.
But you didn't go to college.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to that podcast as well, and he made a good point about it. He's like, I don't know him personally. I don't know Mr. James personally. He could be the smartest guy in the world, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he could be a really intelligent dude.
I think
But he went from high school to the NBA, so it's like hard to portray that, you know?
Smart enough to know money now is worth more money later.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
I didn't get that he was saying, I didn't learn anything in college about, like, till my senior year, I didn't learn anything about race. So it's like, and he, coming from a white guy's podcast talking about it, it's like, he doesn't know anything LeBron's been educated on as a black man.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just interesting. He did bring up good points in the podcast.
That's like a testament to us, too. Like, we obviously have no idea.
We have no idea at all.
What it's like growing up as a minority, not having
any rights, it feels like.
Having people just like dislike you for no reason.
Being prejudiced.
What's a way?
So it's tough for anyone, really, because we don't know the experience, but you have to sort of feel for what's happening.
Yeah. A lot of prayer. A lot of prayer needs to go on.
A lot of prayer needs to be down.
Tell you what. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a big topic.
It is. It's good to talk about it, though, because I feel like it makes people uncomfortable, and it's a good thing that people have different views, because if everyone just agreed, then you wouldn't get down to...
And it's important to be able to have conversations like this where it's not like yelling at this person, they're yelling back at you. It's like,
I think it's good. I mean, not a lot of people get to do this. Like, get to sit down, physically talk face to face with people, have different opinions, agree, disagree.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
It is. All right, what's our next topic here?
Anything crazy happen?
Maybe get on a lighter topic now.
Yeah, that was a good little.
Even talking about that, like, I get a little sweaty.
I get worked up.
Yeah,
absolutely,
that's fair.
What's your background on there?
Yeah, what you got on there?
Magic?
Which one? This one? No, dude, it's Future holding.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
You ain't got the juice like that.
That's beautiful.
Is that his Snapchat?
Yeah, it was after Jay-Z made that OJ song where he was talking about people holding up the money phone, and then he just put out that on his story like a week later. Good stuff.
I wrote down a good note earlier this week.
Do share.
I will share. I want to hear you guys' opinion on this. I just jotted it down, but it was well-paying job or happiness, and then I put in parentheses, is money everything, and then reference to what I had offered a couple years ago. So you know my neighbor Pat, right?
Yeah, you got offered.
So I got offered pretty much a full-time, I guess it's considered electrical engineering job. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. Like, it's hard work, and it's a lot of like wiring in attics and doing electrical engineering with computers and different things like that. I basically had a full-time job offer from my neighbor. He owns a multi-million-dollar business with the electric companies and stuff like that, and he's doing well. And he offered me basically free training without having any college education, but usually you have to go to college to be one of those guys. And I just...
You were getting offered a lot of money.
I was getting offered a lot of money. We're talking like in the range.
Write it down. Don't say it out loud. I don't want to faint on the stream.
We'll say six figures. We'll say six figures.
6 figures.
We'll say in that range.
That's big time.
Okay.
Man.
Up to 6 figures if you continue with it.
Here's my take on it.
Yeah.
And you're talking about happiness.
So
your happiness would be
Go on.
Yeah. I was just trying to.
Your happiness would be like streaming. That's what I want to do.
If I'm able to support myself, it doesn't have to be the most luxurious lifestyle at all.
But your X house versus X plus one house that you'd be living with if you were had the other job.
I mean, X plus house or X
faster car. Or
whatever, I mean, all that stuff's cool, but as long as I enjoy what I do and am happy about it, but I still work hard and earn, I think that's important. But it's also hard to see it because that's a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money, especially for not having an education. It's
a lot of money for not having an education is right. Like, if I were you, this is what I would have thought about doing, and you probably did too.
Yeah.
Out of college making 6 figures and you want to stream, so you'd be working all day. It'd be 10 12-hour days most of the days. So you get home like 8 p.m. 7 p.m. 6 p.m.
Depends when you start, but yeah.
and you're making 100 grand a year, I would have thought about doing it for 1 year.
Dude, I had so many contemplations of doing that.
1 year, you come back here, you have the ultimate gaming setup, you have everything you need.
I've thought of it, trust me.
And then
I don't know how good of a relationship do you have with your neighbor who...
I mean, I did construction and landscaping for him for about 5-6 months. Matt actually did it for like a summer with me.
Oh, right.
And so, I mean, for the most part, pretty good. He hired me on because he needed some extra help and working around the area, and then didn't need extra help for a while, and he was hiring people that had, you know, specific degrees and were actually in the field. So he didn't need me for like an extra handyman. So it was a good gig. I mean, he was paying me at least $15 an hour, and I was only working 5 to 6 hours a day, plus the bread stuff I was doing as well. So I mean, I was cooking it up for those 6 months. I mean, it was good money, man.
Six figures. I'd do some stuff for 6 figures right now.
Yeah,
I love my
See,
job.
now I think of it back there.
Anybody listening, if you got some opportunities for 6 figures, I'll do something wild.
Take it.
You can even I have a GoFundMe if you want to toss it.
I'll do something wild.
Yeah. No.
But here's the thing though too, because like it was either sacrifice time, so sacrifice time here, or sacrifice money.
Stream like maybe an hour or two a day.
Yeah, so it's like an hour or two a day is
7 to 10.
It's nothing, man. So I wouldn't have this, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be making this as a part-time job where obviously I'd have, who knows how much money I would have made. You never know. Would have made X money here, but sacrifice the time in building what I have now, you know?
Yeah.
So what I always think, what would life be like if I never got into this, which is crazy. You ever think about that? You ever think about like if I did this differently?
What would be if you didn't do this at all and you did the electrician job? What would have been your first purchase?
My first purchase?
Yep.
Oh man. It'd definitely be a car. I'm trying to think of what car at the time. Dude, if I'm balling like that, dude, I probably would have got like some crazy Audi R8 or something like that, something insane.
If I was making that, I would have gotten a big yellow truck.
The big yellow, please no, the big banana.
I would have gotten bigger one. I would have gotten like a big Ford.
Nowadays, I'm a simple man. My realistic car, I would love to have like a Jeep Rubicon. Dude, I really want a Jeep. They're so sick.
I just want
Earl loves it.
Are you a sports car kind of guy?
I don't even know about like.
Or a muscle car kind of guy.
I just like driving fast.
Yeah, I want to go fast, mama.
That's why I really want to get. I want to get a motorcycle, which is probably the worst thing I could ever purchase.
Bailey's boyfriend just got a beast.
Motorcycle?
It's so sick.
Dude, his truck is unbelievable.
He's doing good.
Huge.
So you know the hail and stuff, right?
Yeah, he does.
Does all the insurance, and he made a lot of money this summer. So good for him. He'll be making a lot of money next summer too, because all these houses, they still got to be all worked on. So he's got
a lot of work left.
There's a lot. Did you guys have your houses like all?
We had the roof. We had the garage door. So
I was trying to stream during that day. I had a migraine. I don't get migraines or headaches ever, and just like pounding and pounding and pounding. I was like, okay, so I took a nap and then they left, and then I was fine. You guys ever had like a serious migraine or like serious headache?
I used to get them all the time.
Really?
They're the worst things ever.
Well, because I never get them. What do they like really feel like besides mine sharp pains?
Mine were really weird. I'd get like fuzzy, then my eye would go blurry.
What?
One of my eyes would go blurry, so like I'd have a black spot buzzing out in one of my eyes.
Really?
And then I'd be like, frick. Like I knew it was coming, but I just feel like super out of it. And then I'd get the worst headache ever.
I wonder what the science is behind that, dude. That's crazy.
One happened in school one day. I was like, this is the worst day of my life. In high school.
Was that where you went home?
Yeah. Yeah, I went home and I was like, this is going to be the worst day of my life.
I now that you mentioned in school, I don't know why I thought of this, but when you almost died and had an asthma attack during basketball practice, I thought you were going to die, dude. Seriously.
Tell you what, thought I was done.
Go through the little story. It's a short little...
So I was at basketball practice with Brennen, 9A basketball practice.
Love it. 9A, get after it, baby.
Not 9B, we made the 18.
We're big players. Actually, I moved down to go play with those guys for fun because they were struggling a little bit.
and so we're like running. I don't even know what we're doing, but I had pretty bad asthma throughout middle school and beginning of high school. And all of a sudden, we like walked to the drinking fountain. I'm doing all right. Then all of a sudden, like, just couldn't breathe in, I was like, oh my gosh.
I remember I was physically getting a drink, and then
I grabbed Brennan's shoulder. I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to get out the words.
You
like,
couldn't even say anything. You were just like, like you were dead.
Dying.
I'm like, I'm going to run, and then you were like, you recovered somehow. I don't know how. By the time he's
back, you have to like mentally calm yourself down because a lot of it.
Walk me through what an asthma attack feels like, because
you just can't suck in. It's like very hard to breathe in your lungs, like to get a deep breath. It's like all short.
Ooh,
like so you're struggling, and then so all I was trying to say is like grab my inhaler, but mentally then as you're breathing in, you're like, this isn't gonna stop. Like you're mentally just thinking like, this is the.
See, I've had the wind knocked out of me a couple times. Does it feel like that?
No, because I mean,
because when you knock the wind out of you, it's just like,
I haven't had the wind knocked out of me in a long
that feels like horror. It's like you get punched in the gut really hard, and then you just like are gasping for a second, and then it comes back.
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't had the wind knocked out of me in so long, and it's hard to remember what the ninth.
I think the last time I got the wind knocked out of me was like early basketball days. I think I went up for a board and just got tossed and landed on my back, and then
so that was the worst thing ever. And then mentally you just psych yourself out. You're like, it's all mental, really. It's not all mental, but like a lot of it,
you can breathe.
Oh yeah,
you can breathe, man. No, it's just it's not all mental, but a lot of it is like it starts up and then you psych yourself out and you can't calm yourself down.
I feel like psyching yourself out is huge. That it's like,
so I would just have to like sit there and get away from people and be like, all right, you're fine. Just like calm down a little bit mentally.
Jeez.
Because then mentally you're like start hyperventilating, and then it's like, and it's a gong show. So then by the time Brennen came back, I'd calm myself down. I was like, I'm good.
That's crazy
stuff. He had his life in your hands, and you're like,
I did. I was like, my best friend's about to die in my hands. no, Trev. I'm just like running with the inhale out, slow motion diving.
No, but that was a wild time.
That's funny.
Speaking of time, it is time for your boy to head out.
Yeah, you got to head out here soon.
I have to head out here soon.
Going on Jolfin.
You know what? One thing I was going to think about too is if we started the podcast at like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that to you if you want to start it later instead of earlier.
For people
to watch and then for us to go longer. Because we could go for 2 hours.
I could have easily gone for 2 hours.
Yeah, easily.
Go for days.
Especially us three. Holy.
Yeah. And I think it'd just be easier for us getting to set up, maybe grab a little brekkie.
Yeah, I mean,
get my coffee juices flowing.
Dude, and this stuff is so good.
Saturday mornings, you know, the boy's trying to get a little bit of sleep.
Get after it.
I got like 5 hours last night.
I got about 5 hours.
Yeah,
but it's okay. Gotta get after it sometimes, guys.
You do. But
I think we're wrapping it up here, though. Earl, the powerful Earl.
You got anything to say?
Thanks for making it out, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for
stopping in.
I got nothing else to say.
And any social media plugs? Anything?
Any social media plugs? We have.
I'm sorry. No! Don't let the man talk at all.
If you go on the UnMeasured podcast, you can see Earl's Twitter handle, Earl_555.
I'll give that beautiful man a follow.
Earl555.
No, there's 2 L's because someone stole mine.
Earl with 2 L's.
2 L's.
555.
2 L's. I'm taking them all over the place.
This dust bucket's not on Instagram yet. He's behind the times.
Yeah.
I don't take pictures.
Dude,
I love pictures, man.
He doesn't like pictures. Explain your topic real quick on pictures. It's an interesting take. I kind of
what I was telling you last weekend.
It's kind of interesting.
I don't know. Like I guess a lot of people go to, you know, like cool nature places or concerts or whatever, and they're always taking videos and pictures, and I just like, I don't really do it because it's like someone else has already taken a picture, like the Grand Canyon or whatever. Just for example, never been, but. You know, someone's already been there, taking all the cool pictures you can take. Mm-hmm. I can see all the pictures. I just want to see it through my own eyes, and then just remember it as I saw it. Remember, like, wow, this is really cool, rather than look back at it, a picture, and be like, I don't know, kind of wasn't as cool as I remember it.
I'm personally a guy that just takes pictures on the iPhone. Like, I just don't have a camera.
Good camera,
So when I look back at photos, I'm like, man, it was way cooler when I was there than the photo I took on my iPhone.
I mean, for memories, I think it's cool if you take a picture with your buddies really or whatever.
Cool.
I'll do that. Yeah.
But like, I get what you're saying though. Like, there's been so many people that have taken photos of the Grand Canyon or like a cool monuments or whatever, and
Like
it's
I'll
like
take a picture
with
if I
people
see
is-
like an animal like doing something funny or something like not
Yeah.
like if I'm not taking a picture like a mountain that everyone else is taking a picture of. If I see something like
No, I
odd
get that.
that
I will
isn't
take-
happening a lot, I'll take a picture of that just to like show people. But
Yeah, I'll take pictures with people all day because those are like the memories you'll remember. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
went to
what
the
I
Grand
do
Canyon
it
with
for.
these
you're
people.
like, man, I was looking good. at the
Man,
Grand Canyon.
man, I was looking fresh. But and, yeah,
Oh, that's
so
funny.
I'll do that. But
Yeah.
take a picture of like something on my iPhone. I always look back and I'm like,
See, my dad's
Why
like
don't I do
that.
this?
Colonel's like, wow, you should, because I'm
a
like trying to.
generation thing,
It
too.
is definitely
Shout
is.
out to Archmang 2K9 for following me. on
Wow,
Twitter.
look at that.
I
The
don't know-
follow's
I don't know
coming in
I don't know
hot.
if that one came out of nowhere or what, but looks like he might be Canadian here, which is cool.
Well,
Nova
absolutely
Scotia.
love that, you know.
Cancer
Gotta
survivor.
love
Shout
it.
out to you. That's awesome. Don't
Nova.
even know if he's.
Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy
Trevor.
Trev in the chat.
Trevor, you're the man.
Trev bot.
Trev, love it.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I
that
think
is a
we're gonna wrap this up though, boys. Earl, be a regular guest in here. Thanks for coming out, buddy. Appreciate
yeah,
it. It was good conversations, boys.
conversation.
Great conversation.
Down to
I
chit
respect everyone's point of view. It's pretty sweet.
Hey,
Pretty
You guys
it's
all
good to
suck.
talk about it. I hate all
this
of
is
you.
Alex's last time on the podcast.
Hopefully, you guys enjoyed Earl.
We're gonna beat him up right after the podcast.
Oh
It's
man.
over.
All right, but yeah,
fellas.
Trevor's got to hit
It was a good
the
run.
golf course,
Gotta
right?
hit the golf course.
Got to hit the
today.
golf
Come on now.
course, so
I
he's
gotta
gonna.
take my dad down. I'm sick of him talking stuff.
Good, Thomas, take him down.
Taking
Take him
Tommy
down, buddy.
Pickles down. So, what do you guys got going? Jay chilling?
I'm
Wisconsin
gonna
game?
watch the game.
I am building the streaming rig today, so
that's right.
that's a big
It's a grind.
that's a big grind today, boys. But other than that, not much.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in.
To the UnMeasured podcast, we do appreciate it. Thank you for having our guest on, Earl.
Earl,
Go check
2
him
L's,
out.
555.
Yep. Go check him out on Twitter.
My
Go-
Snapchat.
Oh, or follow his Snapchat. Plugging it right at the end.
Don't really do anything on Snapchat.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys for checking it out. We could have honestly gone for 2 hours today. We might start changing up the schedule a little bit, maybe 10, 11 on a Saturday. We'll see what happens. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. We do appreciate it.
I got you.
And yeah, this has been Brennan and Trevor and
Earl.
yeah.
Thanks for tuning in for the
We'll see you
Unmeasured
guys
podcast.
next time. Peace.
Peace out.
Have a good one, everybody.
Love it.
Good juice.
Killed it,
stuff.
boys. We're still live,
stuff.
but we can still chill with the chat.
Really good juice. All right, I have to head out though.
Yep.
Actually,
You got
devastating.
2 times to make.
Ooh, tea
I
times
gotta hit the range.
Yeah, you do.
My
Watch out
dusty-
for the word there.
Well,
Don't want to bring down the streaming rig before you.
how cool
Yeah.
would it be? Me and Brendan always talk about this, to have a podcast booth where you just everything's already set up. You can go do a
So
podcast
sick.
for 15 minutes and you don't have to set everything up.
So
Sweet,
sick.
Which would be sweet, but it's like,
Down the
how
road.
does a guy like that afford it? Brendan, why aren't you making $100,000 right now?
You know,
Why didn't you do it? No,
it was more than $100,000, but
Bye, no.
all right, chat. Thanks for chilling. I don't know if I'm gonna be live this whole weekend. I got PC stuff to build. I got the whole setup. This thing's
I
gonna
like how
be
we're all
completely
standing so you
different.
can't see our
You right,
heads.
dude?
Let's all do that. We should do a podcast like this. The Headless Podcast.
The Headless Podcast.
Interesting.
Bring them up here.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Boo's the only one staring at
What do you
everyone.
guys think of the Headless Podcast?
What are you guys thinking?
I just think it's gonna be like a wiener podcast now. Just straight
It's weird seeing yourself.
the dick cams.
Like I feel like my arms are gonna go one way and
I know,
go
right?
the other way because it's in reverse.
Oh, that's funny.
I want to see your
Thought-
face. All right.
All right, guys, we're heading out, chat.
Brennan?
Thank you for chilling. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Anytime,
you.
boys. Earl, thanks for
always a
coming out,
pleasure.
dog.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Sex, don't forget.
Getting it tatted on your
Guys, thank you so much for watching and listening and sharing and supporting this UnMeasured movement. We do appreciate it. We're glad you guys are enjoying it. It's going so much better than we thought it would right when we started this thing. It's only going to continue to grow from here. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, please do hit us up on social media. That's at UnMeasured_ on Twitter. All the links will be down in the description below. Leave some comments, leave some feedback. You guys are beautiful. I love you, and peace out.